Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jake the Fate, and in this video, I'm going to be doing a review and demo, and also an installation on these Fishman Fluence modern humbucker pickups. Alright, so here I have these Fishman Fluence modern humbucker pickups. These pickups have been around for a couple of years now, and I have bought these in the past, but I never really got the proper voicings and everything installed into it. So I'm going to take you guys to the workbench and show you guys how to install these onto your guitar, give you guys an isolated track of how these sound, and then give you guys a quick little demo of how it sounds in the mix, and then I'm going to give you guys my final thoughts on these Fishman Fluence modern humbucker pickups. Here are the pickups. And it did come with like a little film on top of this, but I took it off. And also there was like a little film on top of the pickups itself. I just took those right off as soon as I got them because I'm pretty excited about this. So what comes in the packaging, you get this in here, so you can go on their website, find whatever you need, whatever you want. Get a warranty. I think this is the warranty. Yeah, this is the warranty. Installation guide, wiring diagram, which is pretty crucial. If you guys don't know what you guys are doing, you guys are gonna need that. And also a user guide right here, you know how these things work, the functions and everything. And then also they come with 25K pots, 2 push-pull potentiometers, and then 2 regular potentiometers. And then you also get this little box. What the hell is this? And you also get this little box with all the wirings and everything. And looking at all these wirings, it's giving me nightmares because this kind of reminds me of the Sustainiac video that I did, that installation with all those wires. Everything that you need is in here, hopefully. So before I get started on the wiring stuff, I do want to talk about the pickups just a little bit. So you get these 2 Fishman pickups. So these pickups here, they're not like your traditional active or passive pickups. So the way these things work, as you guys can see here, if you guys have never seen how these Fishman pickups are, you have a circuit board on the bottom of the pickups itself, and it kind of indicates you which one's which. So the bridge pickup has a ceramic magnet in it, and the neck pickup has an Alnico magnet in it, because you can see right here it says Alnico, and over here it says ceramic. So like I said, these are not like your traditional pickups, right, where they're wound like a regular pickup. So I do have a regular humbucker here that I'm working on. This is for a 7-string, but as you guys can see here, there's a bunch of copper wiring that goes around the bobbins which make the pickup. But what's going on in here, and I have here this Fishman single coil just to show you guys. This is kind of like what's going on in here, 2 of these, but they're a little bit smaller, I think. What's interesting with this is that there's 42 or 45 circuit boards stacked up on each other. So this thing is actually very high tech and very, modern, if you guys want to put it that way. Because with the EMGs, right, you guys are probably thinking, oh, but EMGs are also active pickups. But EMGs have basically 2 bobbins inside of the casing itself with a preamp underneath it, so it gives you guys that high output. So the way that these are, it allows you to get different voicings, is what they say, right? You get 2 different voicings. Well, technically 3 if you guys think about it, because back here you've got high frequency tilt, and you've got voice 2, and you got your output, your ground, and your 9-volt right here. And then basically the voice 3 would be, coil splitting this, which you really can't do with EMGs. So that's a really cool feature about these, that you can just solder this to coil split this, but still you guys still have that option. So in simple terms, voice 1 is just basically like an active high output sound, and voice 2 is like a passive sound, and then voice 3 would be, your coil split. I will be honest with you guys, I have bought in these pickups years ago, before I even knew how to solder things in. And I honestly gave up on trying to put these on, and I just put like the regular EMG connection onto this, and still worked, but I wasn't getting the voicings. So I'm pretty excited to see what these sound like. I'm not gonna be doing this wiring because I'm gonna be putting this on my Jackson Soloist, and I don't want to start routing holes for all this. So I'm just gonna be doing a one master volume, one master tone, but they're both gonna be push pull to get the voicings. So I'm gonna be using just these two to get the different voicings. So I'm gonna show you guys how I'm gonna be doing that, because obviously you guys can just follow this if you guys have this kind of configuration on your guitar. But if you guys only have one master volume, one master tone, it can be pretty confusing if you guys just bought this and you guys are like, wait, what? How am I going to do this on my guitar? So yeah, let's get started on this. So I'm just going to be using these two push-pull pots as my master volume and my master tone. I was going to do the coil split, but I'm like, but I am going to show you guys how to wire it if you guys want to wire coil splitting, because I always say I don't ever really use coil splits, but I'm a metal player, so I'm just gonna go for the meat and potatoes for this thing. So let's zoom in and show you guys how I'm gonna wire this thing up. Oh, the white and red one is gonna be my neck. The black and red is gonna be my bridge. And I think, and they're both pretty much the same length, so you guys can do whatever you guys want if you guys want to switch them back and forth. But I'm just gonna go with how they had it on that wiring diagram. This green and black is going to be for your neck voicing, so we're going to put those right there. The yellow and the orange go together for your voicings for your bridge. Those go together. These go together. Right? Yeah, Daddy. So basically the white and the red with the green and the blue are for your bridge. The black and the red with the orange and the yellow is for your neck pickup. And you also get two more connectors, a white and a gray one, which I'll explain what these are for once I'm done connecting these, but I'm not going to be using these, but I'll explain what these are for. You also get the battery clip, the output jack, the stereo output jack, a bunch of goodies in here, two capacitors, you got the screws and all that stuff you need. I'll actually give you some heat shrink tubing if you guys need that. So I'm going to get started first on my volume pot. I'm just going to do all the grounding first. I don't know if you guys can see this. I don't know if you know what? I'm not even going to use this thing because it's making it more confusing. So you're going to want to run a wire from here to the back of this pot. And then you're going to want to run a jumper wire from here to the back of this pot over here. So I'm going to do that first and then explain it as I go. So what I have is this third terminal grounded to the back of this pot, and these two center prongs grounded to the back of this pot also. So now you're going to grab these clips. You're going to want to twist the green and the orange together, because they're going to go soldered onto this first terminal right there. Alright, so we got this one done. Now I'm going to get started on the tone pot. Now for the tone pot, you're going to want to do the same thing that we did for the volume. Do the center of these two onto the back of the pot. Then we're going to add this capacitor from this third terminal to the pot also. So what we have here is a jumper wire going from these two prongs onto the back of the pot, and the capacitor from this third terminal to the back of this pot over here. Like how we did with the volume pot, we're going to twist these two together and they're going to go right here on this terminal right there. So what I have here so far is a jumper wire going from these two terminals onto the back of the pot on both potentiometers. This terminal grounded to the volume pot, the green and the orange to this terminal right here, the blue and the yellow to this terminal right here. All right, so now I'm going to wire up the three-way toggle switch, which is just a ground going from here to the side of the pot, and this output going to this terminal right here on this first one. And so from here, what we're going to do is connect a jumper cable going from this first terminal to the center of this terminal right over here, like that. Alright, so what we have here so far is the toggle switch being grounded to the pot and the output going from here to this first terminal, then with another jumper cable going from this terminal to the second terminal of the tone pot. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is ground these two pots together by putting this black wire on top of the pots over here. Now we're going to take our output jack and we're going to put the ground on this center terminal. This is going to be the output, which is going to be this black one, and this one over here is going to be your battery clip. So I'm going to put these two first and put that in place over here. And where this is going to go, this is going to be grounded to the side of the pot. This is going to go right into the center of this terminal right over here, like that. So now we're going to grab our battery clip, and the black wire is going to go onto that last terminal on this output jack right there, like that. Okay, so I'm hoping this makes some sense because I know there's a lot of wires going on here. So what we did here so far from the beginning is put the jumper cable from these two terminals onto the back of the pot on both of these potentiometers. Grounded this first terminal to the side of the pot over here. We put our capacitor from this first terminal to the side of the pot, and then we soldered this orange and green wire to this first terminal, and the blue and the yellow to this first terminal right over here. Then we grounded the toggle switch from the toggle switch onto the side of the pot, then the output going from this to this first terminal, then a jumper cable going from the first terminal to the center of this terminal right over here. And then we also grounded these two pots together on the top. And then we grounded the output jack to the side of the pot, the output going from this terminal onto the center of the volume pot terminal. And now we just added the battery clip to the last terminal on the output jack. Now the last thing to do is connect the actual pickup clips onto the pots over here. So how this is going to be, you're going to strip this back and you're going to get the braided wire and these two white wires right over here. You're going to connect these two, you can put them together onto the side of the pot to ground this, and these are going to go onto your three-way toggle switch, your neck and your bridge. Or you could actually even ground it over here so it's a lot easier for you guys to do this while you guys are doing this inside your guitars. So now the last and final wiring you have to do is put all these red wires together, twist them all together, solder them in place, and use that heat shrink tubing that they gave you to seal these things up in place. Got bridge, neck, both. I mean, you're obviously going to get sound, but it's not going to be you're obviously going to get sound, but the difference is going to be when you're playing it. Now what I want to explain with these two wires, this is just basically if you guys want to have a low gain setting. So all you would have to do is clip these onto this over here, like that. On both of them. And solder these onto your ground. You can put them either together or whatever it is, but just solder them to the ground like that. But I'm not going to have it. I am going to have this wired up like that, everything inside the guitar. So just in case down the road I do want to have that, I'll just strip this back and put that in place, and solder that into place. Now for the coil split, it's not really going to be like a coil split per se. It's going to be like how I explained when I had this thing. You're going to either activate the top one or the bottom one, the inner or the outer coil. So how that's going to work is you're going to have a double pull, double throw mini toggle switch. I'm going to put a picture up here. With that, you would connect this where it says CT to the middle pin, and then the H onto the top pin. And then same thing with this one on the other side. So you're going to have 2 rows and you're going to put those on each side. And then the bottom 2, you're going to do how we did this over here. Put it through the middle, put them both together, and ground that to your pot. And that's how you can get the cold split sound. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. All I'm going to do now is just put this into my guitar and give you guys a quick isolated track of how these sound individually without no mix. And then I'm going to give you guys a mix demo and then give you guys my final thoughts on these Fishman Fluence pickups. All right, so there it is, the Fishman Fluence modern set. Now, what are my final thoughts on these pickups? They're 110% worth getting because, my God, man, the way the bridge sounds, like alone without the high tilt, dude, I was like, holy crap. Like, it just had like that, like active, it sounds like EMGs, but like just with a little bit more flavor to them. I don't know if it was just me or what, but when I was playing it and I was going back and forth from, the different voicings, I was like, man, I just love the way it sounds like without the high tilt, just normal. So I don't know if I'm mistaken it or not. You guys can correct me on the comment section because, I am pretty new to these pickups, even though I have had them in the past. And I also did own a Epiphone SG Prophecy, and those did come with the Fishman Fluence pickups on them. But now that I'm like getting really into them, but back then I really didn't understand anything with pickups or, what's the difference between this and that. Obviously, I knew the difference between active and passive, but just like, trying to distinguish an EMG from another EMG or a passive with another passive. But honestly, man, these pickups have become one of my favorite pickups, from all the pickups that I have. Even though I love my EMGs, I can't just sit here and say, oh, they're better than EMGs because I can't compare them like one to the other. Every pickup and every guitar, they all sound different. They all have their different characteristics. So with these pickups, I don't know, dude, like they just sound freaking amazing. So highly recommend you guys getting them just because they sound great. Even when I lifted the gain on the neck position, I was playing with some rhythm. Surprised me. I was like, wow, I can actually get some good tones out of this. Even though these pickups are not that cheap, they do go for around $270, almost $300. So that's pretty expensive for a set of pickups. Almost around the same as like James Hetfield's set. But like I said, man, they're 110% worth getting just because you get different voicings. It makes you want to play in a different style. Oh, and one thing I do want to say is that I don't ever really change my settings on my amp and my distortion pedal and everything else. I keep everything the same. In all my videos, I keep everything the same. So you guys can actually hear the difference between the pickups and the guitars and all that stuff. So if you guys go back to any of my other videos and hear the difference, it's literally the guitar and the pickup. I keep everything the same. I do that also for myself so I can actually go back and hear it, compare the pickups, compare the guitars, and be like, wow, this one has this kind of sound, this kind of tone. So yeah, but honestly, man, I freaking love these pickups. Like I said, they're becoming one of my favorite pickups. I've had these pickups on this guitar for about a week. When I first started the video, it was about a week ago. It's because, I got super busy with work. I just kept coming back to it because I'm like, dude, these pickups sound freaking amazing. Like, I freaking love them. I love them. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit emotional here, but it kind of gave me some Kill Switch Engage vibes. Even though, they do have Fishman Fluent pickups. Like, I think they have their own signature set, I think. It does give you that, like, that tone, like that aggressive, vibe. So I hope you guys found this video useful and helpful in any way, shape, or form. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe because this is all I do on this channel. Guitar reviews, guitar builds, wiring stuff, anything guitar related. And with that, I'll catch you guys on the next one.